The only way I'm actually able to talk about it is not because I'm better. It's because I'm still broken. I'm relatively cut off from any emotional engagement. I don't feel overly happy. I never feel overly sad. But it does make it easier to tell the story and get my side of this out there.
If we're to believe you, why didn't you call the cops when you could?
Well, honestly, I thought my mother would find out before the cops found her, and she had let me know in no uncertain terms that if I had told, she would kill me.
This, to me, is the face of my torturer. The abuse didn't give her the sense of control anymore. So, murder was the next step. I had a total of 5 siblings, 2 of which were half-siblings. That would be my older brother and sister, Howard, and Sheila. And then direct siblings, sister Susan, younger brother Robert, and sister Terry. She ruined 6 of us. There's not one kid that she birthed into this world that isn't broken or dead.
Hey guys, go outside. Let's go outside and play, come on.
She would tell us on a regular basis that she didn't want any one of us. So now that she's stuck with us, she's gonna make us do what she wants.
Be back before it's dark.
The extreme abuses didn't happen until my biological father had started another family. He was never actually present in our lives. Since we had no other place to go, we had no contact with our dad, we really tried to be the kids that she was expecting us to be. This is a picture of me in grade school. I don't have any actual color photographs of my sisters, either one. There's no family picnic photos. There's nothing like that. Looking back, I wish somebody would have kidnapped me. I was so unprepared for what was coming. My life was about to change dramatically. The beatings were part of growing up. On one occasion, we had been sent to our room in the middle of the day. She didn't want to hear us or see us. We weren't allowed to talk. We had to stay on our own beds. All I was doing was silently laying on my bed and Robert was on his. She burst into mine and my brother's room. She was berating us.
Are you laughing at me? Don't play dumb with me.
We didn't say anything.
I remember looking at Robert, and Robert's like, shrug, he doesn't know what's going on. And she goes, stop laughing at me.
Everything I do for you, and you were up here talking about me.
Robert and I looked at each other. We were not laughing.
I know. You're up here laughing at me.
Mom, I swear we're being quiet.
And she looked at me and said, your eyes were laughing at me.
What did I tell you about lying? Kids! Come hold your brother down.
She made Robert, Sheila, Susan all grab me.
Stop!
At one point or another, all of the siblings were forced to hold down somebody. And if you lost your grip, or if you let go, or whatnot, you were immediately beat. She used what she called the Board of Education. It was a piece of wood from a construction site that she had wrapped a handle up with electrical tape so she wouldn't lose her grip on it.
You know this is what you get.
Whenever my mother would beat any of us, she would always say it was because she loved us. If she didn't love us, she wouldn't even bother. At a certain point, you internalize this. This is what love is. Love is control and beating. Once she was satisfied that I wasn't laughing anymore, and once I started to cry, she goes, "There, now you're not laughing at me. You stay on that bed, that's where you're staying for the rest of the night." And she closed the door.
Everybody back to your rooms.
And we didn't have any outside exposure. We could never go to a kid's house after school, so we didn't actually see their family dynamics. There wasn't any questioning of it. This is what moms do. We just thought everybody was the same as us. She started getting more paranoid. In her mind, we were possessed. Demon possession. I recall one evening where we were in bed. We were all asleep. She got us all up out of bed because in her mind, we'd been faking asleep.
Keep moving in the living room. You know the drill. Go.
She lined us up and had us sit down facing away from her. She didn't want to see us. She didn't want us to look at her.
Everybody on the floor.
We weren't allowed to fall asleep. We weren't allowed to speak. And we had to sit there all night facing away from her.
Robert, stay awake.
If somebody started to fall asleep, if their head started to bob, they got it with the board. If somebody tried to move their leg, they got hit. We had to sit there like statues. Sitting absolutely still for, I can't even tell you how many hours. When the sun came up, she says, "Okay, you guys can get up now." The demons had left us.
All right. Go upstairs.
We just chalked it up to mom's weird. You know, this is just what she was becoming. My mom used to bar hop, and that's where she would meet guys and whatnot and try to have relationships. And she would always come home drunk. So one night after my mom had been out, she was very excited about showing us something.
I want to show you guys something. You're gonna love this.
And she tells us a story about somebody that was at this bar that she was at, and rather than throwing darts, he breaks out a set of throwing knives. And she's like, "Look, I can throw knives." She started having us individually stand in front of her, and she would show how good she was at it by throwing the knives at us and missing us. We got scared at that point.
William.
She told me to stand against the wall, and I closed my eyes. I didn't want to see it. And it missed me, and I got out of there. But when it was Sheila's turn, she threw a knife and stabbed Sheila.
Sheila, you're next.
When it was Sheila's turn, she threw a knife and stabbed Sheila. The knife didn't actually stay, and it fell out, and so she started bleeding immediately. And my mom immediately got angry at Sheila, saying, "She moved, she did that on purpose. You did that on purpose to make me look bad."
She moved. It's her own fault.
There was never an "I'm sorry" from my mother. I don't think my mom had remorse. I don't think she was empathetic at all. She did close the wound, butterfly bandage, it disinfected all of that. And that was as close as you got to a motherly moment. But that was it. It was always our fault, not hers. And when she was done with us, we just ended up going to bed and not talking about it again. One morning, Susan ran away while I was doing my paper route. I returned from my paper route, And my mom asked me, "Where's Susan?" And I was like, I don't know. She was here when I left.
Is your sister with you?
No?
None of us knew where she was, and my mom had a panic moment. My sister Susan was very bright. Susan knew something that the rest of us didn't. This can't be normal. There's a real problem here. And that scared my mom, because she didn't know what Susan was going to do.
Hello. May we come in?
Child Protective Services showed up on our doorstep one day after Susan had run away. She told them about the abusive situation we were in. They just said all of us were going to have to do individual interviews, but my mom was in the room the entire time. And we knew what that meant.
Hi.
Hello?
William?
Yes?
Nice to meet you, William.
If you said anything that she didn't tell you to say, you were going to get beat again.
So, William, has your mother ever hurt you?
They asked us questions that we could not answer. Does your mom beat you? And you look immediately at your mom, and she's standing there shaking her head no. You're going to answer no.
No.
No. Have you ever seen your mother hurt one of your brothers or sisters?
No, ma'am.
And at the end of this investigation, they made the conclusion that Susan was just a runaway because she doesn't like being at home anymore. So they sent her home. It's a harsh realization, but we failed her. All of us as kids, we were scared, and we didn't know any better. She tried to do something, and we couldn't stand shoulder to shoulder and help her. I think it would have been very different if Susan had ran away and just stayed gone. But it didn't go that direction.
All right. Bye-bye.
You come with me.
Susan was immediately handcuffed to a table.
Don't tell people things that we discussed. You didn't know, and you have to give me your hand.
She had socks over her hands, and it reduced marks. And that's where she stayed for probably the next couple of years. She was gagged. It was horrible. And it was under very heavy restrictions that the gag ever came out. She force-fed Susan. Susan was full. She made her eat more. If she threw up, she made her eat that. To see her handcuffed underneath the table was a constant reminder of the consequences. This is what happened when you go against our mom.
Let this be a lesson to all of you.
Running away didn't cross my mind because I had no place to go. The system had already failed, so I couldn't go to the system. Watching this escalation 100% reinforced the strategy for me to not make waves. She went to the school and told them that we were moving. Never went to school again. But she wanted more money coming into the household. So at one point, I got a job at a movie theater. I would have to walk or ride a bike to and from work. And she would drive past me to make sure I was going to work. I would see her car drive by me several times. She would never stop. She would never pick me up and drive me to work, but she would make sure I went straight there. My mother, on no uncertain terms, was absolutely stalking me and making sure I did what I was supposed to be doing at any given time. She escalated her control over me by doing these things. I'm thinking, this is just my life. This is the way it's going to be. If she would have found me deviating, I have no idea what would have happened. She hands Terry, who is the youngest, a .22 pistol. Terry's freaked. She's a kid. The gun goes off. This house was the whole world. This is where torture started. This is where everything disintegrated in our lives. This is where Susan was handcuffed to a table. Susan had already been under the table for quite a while. By that time, we were so brainwashed, controlled. We didn't know that anybody else was living any different. Susan was starting to gain pressure sores. So she would be allowed to be uncuffed for a period of time.
Knock it off.
But every night she was back under the table, and she was only let go when my mother allowed her to be.
You know the rules.
She was completely and utterly without a moment's peace that this had to end. One morning, my mom just woke up in a horrible mood and literally was yelling and screaming about so many things simultaneously.
Stop saying Mom!
We were being hit indiscriminately. Susan had been uncuffed and is taking this huge brunt of abuse.
I'm sorry.
At one point, she hands Terry, who is the youngest, a .22 pistol.
That's it.
Please.
Terry, hold this on your sister.
And she tells her if she even moves, you shoot her. Terry is freaked. She's a kid holding a gun.
William, come with me.
And my mother takes me down the hall and we start making oatmeal. I'm taking food down the hall to people. I've got bowls in my hand. The spoons fall over and clank. And when they clank, Terry jumped. And when she jumped, the gun went off. She shot Susan. Susan fell. She dropped the gun.
What did you do?
She doesn't want the blood to get on the carpet. She's not as concerned with Susan. She's not concerned about Terry at all. She doesn't want the blood on the carpet.
Please carry your sister up to the bathtub.
She makes Robert me pick her up, take her into the bathroom, and get her into the bathtub. She was not screaming or hollering. She was not, writhing. She was out. The gunshot was low in the abdomen. We didn't know what exact condition she was in, but we knew she wasn't dead. My mother said, everything is going to be fine. I know how to take care of this. She starts to deliver some form of first aid. She's not trying to remove the bullet. She didn't actually stitch anything up. She used a series of gauze, tape, butterfly bandages, that sort of stuff to close the wound. I don't know if she gave her any pain relievers. I think she was just disappointed that Susan was wounded and not killed.
She's gonna be fine.
There was no thought about calling the police or calling an ambulance or calling anything else. We were just kids, and Mom's gonna handle it. She was in there for maybe a month. It was more or less like watching a horrible movie. It took a while for Susan to even recover to a certain extent and get out of the bathtub. But my mother put her right back under the table. okay, handcuffed.
Let me go. You did this to yourself.
Susan could not take it anymore. She started to beg and plead on a regular basis. I can't do this anymore. Let me just go. I won't go to the authorities. I will disappear forever.
I promise. I'll disappear. You'll never see me again.
And she tried doing this for an extended period, like over a year, where she was begging to get out. At some point, she had said it enough to where my mother actually started to entertain this idea. My mother actually said, okay, but I got to take that bullet out of you. I'm not letting you leave with that bullet still in you.
No, please. No, 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 no,
That's evidence. I'm not leaving that walk out of here.
no, 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 please.
I came home from work to find Susan on the floor. She was out. She's got bandages on her. Terry was obviously shaken. Robert, he wasn't doing great. And Terry tells me that Mom had taken the bullet out of her.
She had to cut Susie open.
They'd used some sort of combination of alcohol and medication or whatnot to start the surgery, and she had possibly gone into some form of shock and passed out during this process. My mom comes out of the bathroom, and I looked at her, and she just simply says, "What?" As if to challenge me. "What do you have to say about this?" And I didn't say anything.
She wanted to leave. This is what it's going to cost.
There was no in-depth explanation, and she's like, "I've decided to let Susan go, but this is what we had to do to let her go. She'll be fine. She just needs a little time to heal up, and she'll be on her way."
Clean this mess up.
Weeks later, I came home from work again, and this time Susan wasn't on the floor. My mother immediately said, "We're going to drop Susan off, gather her stuff up."
Take the stuff and put it in the car.
It was certain minimal personals, some clothing, things of this nature. And Robert and I went out and we went to put them in the car. That's the first time I saw where Susan was. She was in the trunk of the car. So we gathered up the meager belongings that she had, and Robert and I take them outside. And that's the first time that I'd seen that Susan had been moved into the trunk of the car.
What happened?
I was told that she was dead, that she had died on the floor. To be honest, I did not check. The only explanation from my mother was very dismissive. This is what Susan wanted. We had to take that bullet out, so here we are. Robert and I, we were scared.
Come on, everybody, get in the car.
She said, "Everybody get in, we're going for a drive."
Come on, now.
There was no questions, we got in the car. We start driving into a wooded area, and so we're in the car for a while, and nobody has said even a single word the entire time. It's dark, it's nighttime, and she finds a place that is slightly removed from the highway. She says, "Okay, get everything out of the trunk." We moved the stuff out, and then we came back and put Susan down. And Robert and I both thought we were just getting in and driving away. That's when my mom pulls out the gun.
Pour gas on everything.
Robert and I put gas on just the stuff. We didn't put any on Susan. she cocks the gun, it says, "I said on everything."
I said everything.
And it wasn't like we had a choice. I don't think she would have hesitated to shoot Robert or myself. And then she throws me the matches and says, "You light that." And she has got the gun on me. I feel that the reason why she made me do it is because she wanted me to blame. You're the one who did it. I know she will shoot. And so I've got to strike a match and drop it. In my mind, she was already dead. I didn't light my living sister on fire. She was dead. But that's the only solace I can take from this, that this was not her burning to death. And then with the gun, get in the car now. Leaving that situation was, I can't even put it all into words because all of us were so desensitized. But it was still hugely traumatic. You can't unsee that. But there was a sense of relief. She wasn't going to be tortured on the floor anymore. Her fight was done. We never talked about Susan again. We weren't allowed to mention her name. This is the last picture of my sister Susan. I can see a smile on her face. Maybe this was the last happy time she ever had. The only thing she wanted to do was try and help people, help us get out of this situation. I failed her. The system failed her. My other brothers and sisters failed her. She tried to do something for everybody and pay the ultimate price for it. My mother was psychotic. She needed somebody to torture. She needed somebody to beat on. And it quickly moved over to Sheila. One day, I walk in the middle of her beating Sheila. Stop! I started yelling, "Are you trying to kill her too?"
If you are, just get it over with. Stop torturing her.
What did you say?
And then my mom came at me and she was going to start beating on me. And I put my hands up and I said, no, you are not doing this to me anymore. That was a shift moment for me. It was scary.
You will never touch me again.
At this point, I was 15, and it was oddly exciting that I had actually stood up to my mom. I simply turned around and left. I did not go to the police. I didn't go to Child Protective Services. I did not want to be forced back into the home and end up where Susan was. By this point, this deep, it was every man for themselves. But I knew that I hadn't seen the last of my mother. It obviously followed me, continued stalking me, and Robert said, "Mom needs you and you don't want her to come get you." When I walk in, my mom was there.
You asked to see me?
Hey, she's all, "You created this situation, now you're gonna have to deal with it."
You're responsible for this.
And it's like, I haven't been here. What are you talking about? I created a situation.
Responsible for what?
She said, "Well, after you left, we had to put Sheila in the closet to shut her up." And I said, what's going on here? When my mother opened the door, Sheila was dead. What I had heard from Robert many years later is that she had cried and then begged and then pleaded to get out. And then she started to say things that didn't make any sense. And then she stopped saying anything. And she had left her in there for another day.
You're responsible for this.
Looking at her in that closet was just every worst thing that you can imagine. I thought I made the right choice at ending Sheila's beating with a very dramatic statement. Turns out I was wrong.
You're gonna help me make this go away.
This would be the last picture of my sister Sheila. Sheila she didn't hurt a fly, ever. At that point, I knew that I had failed again. It was just an amazingly harsh realization that nothing I did was going to make a difference. And that's, looking at these pictures, every one of them brings back another level of regret. You'll hear so many people say, well, if I'd have been there, I would have. Well, I was there, and I didn't. And I regret that. And there's no way for me to go back and remedy it. I was too weak. She told Robert and I to get out of the car and dig a hole. Robert and I had gotten out and walked a little ways away from the car, and almost immediately a sheriff's car pulled in behind us. Robert and I hit the ground. There's no way he would have seen us. And he walked up to my mom's window. She rolled down her window, and he asked her what she was doing out here. She says, just been driving a while, pulled over to get some rest. But she seemed very, very comfortable with the situation. She didn't panic or get edgy. And he said, well, you might want to move the car because it smells like there's a dead deer out here. He did not sense the smell was coming from the car. And then he walked back, got in his car, and turned around and drove off. And then she started the car and turned on lights. And then we just got right back in the car and drove away because she didn't want to have a record of her car being at that spot and then have them find Sheila. We actually went into a different county, to a different spot. She just told us, just take her out, set her off to the side, and get back in the car quickly. And so that's what we did. When the car was in park, I said, I can't do this, okay? If you're going to come after me, then come after me. I'm done with all of this.
That's it. I'm not doing this anymore.
And I got out of the car.
You think you can just walk away?
She definitely took the opportunity to, you're as guilty as I am in this. You were here, you did this.
Her blood is on your hands too!
Letting me know that if I try to go to the police, she's gonna make sure that I go down too, but I'm not coming back for anything. Either kill me or leave me alone. After I was out, the first several years, I looked over my shoulder every day, all day. I would go to windows at the front of my job and see if I recognized any cars, see if I recognized any faces. Is Robert out there? Is my mother out there? I didn't hear from anybody for years. I had no contact. I didn't find out for many, many years that at a certain age they were all grown and out of the house.
Right over there.
And that's when 2 detectives had showed up at my work.
We're gonna have to have you come with us.
They put me in handcuffs and said I was being arrested for murder. This is a booking photo. This is me. Nobody expects to have one of these. I'm 25 years old here. Two detectives took me into custody, and they said I was being arrested for murder. They take me into this room, and they start showing me pictures of these places. This could have been the entry or the turnoff where Susan was, or this could have been where my mom turned off for Sheila. The police came aware of the whole story through my sister, Terry. She had gotten herself in trouble with the law several times over the years, and each time she was arrested, she would tell this story. And they started asking me questions, mostly about where my mother was, when I had last had contact with her. And that's when I start to get an idea of what I'm actually being charged in connection with.
After launching a nationwide search, investigators found Teresa Jimmy Noor in Salt Lake City. She'd worked as a caretaker for an 86-year-old woman for over a year and had just borrowed $4,600 from the woman's son. Detectives think she was planning to flee.
I was glad that they found her and that she was caught, but that didn't mean I was free. I was brought into the same courtroom as she was.
Accused killer and son number one is Robert Noor Jr. He's in a Nevada prison on unrelated charges, and we're told he won't talk with the cops. This is alleged co-conspirator and son number two, 26-year-old William Noor.
They believed I was complicit. If you weren't guilty of this, why didn't you come forward? You know, you've had 10 years to come forward. Why didn't you come forward? And the obvious, clear answer was, look at what happened to the people who did. Susan tried to come forward. She had gotten herself with Child Protective Services, and she's dead. So I just went about trying to live my life.
Noor remained passive throughout the hearing, but her son, charged as an accomplice, was uncomfortable. His attorney says seeing his mother makes him nervous.
Nervous is not the right word. I was caught so off guard by her being walked into that courtroom that I just broke all the way down. I couldn't breathe. I was sweating. This, to me, is the face of my torturer. And the guy next to me told him to get me out of there. After that day in the courtroom, I have not seen her again. It's obviously a recent picture of my mother. The fact that she would spend the rest of her natural life incarcerated was a relief. I never saw any sign of remorse for my mother, ever. I don't believe she's even capable of remorse. And there will never be a time in my future that I will ever want to have contact or see my mother again. He was already in jail in Ely, Nevada, for an unrelated crime. But when they interviewed him, he gave an almost identical statement to what I did. Robert and I spoke to each other one time while on a transport bus, and I don't know where he's at. We have not been in touch. I've had no further contact with him either. I've done a lot of work on myself in a lot of ways, and it's gotten better over the years. But I don't have the full connections to emotions like so many folks do. The biggest emotion that I have is absolute regret that I wasn't a better person. I still find difficulties in external relationships. I don't necessarily have a lot of friends. But my life today is very, very different. I have a wife and a beautiful daughter. I like to think I'm a decent dad. I think my daughter actually likes me. The day-to-days of my life are like anybody else's. I go to work, do the best job I can, go home, spend time with my family. We have what seems to be a pretty normal life. I can't explain my mother. I don't really want to try and understand her. I just want to be a better parent than she was, and I know that's setting the bar really low. But I want to be the type of person that when my daughter's older, I want her to be able to trust that she can still come home to Dad's house and feel safe. I want her to be the defining moment of my life, to show that I didn't continue the cycle of abuse. We were taught to be horrible people, but you can move past it and create a different future for somebody else.
It's very emotionally draining. The experience was horrible the first time, so to choose to go back and relive those memories is very difficult. The man that I married, he was good-looking and friendly, kind and fun. He was my Prince Charming. He was that tall, dark, and handsome guy that I dreamt of as a little girl. Seeing this picture on the front page of the newspaper, I was just in disbelief that this was my life and what it had all turned out to be. I met Richard in law school. He was very outgoing and friendly and enthusiastic. And because I was so shy, I was very much attracted to his outgoing personality. We started dating, and it was a pretty intense relationship. We'd been dating for about 6 months, and he proposed on Valentine's Day. After we got married, he was very persuasive in convincing me that I wanted to give up my career to be a mom. He had gotten a job with the DA's office and made a name for himself, was very successful, very good attorney. I was a stay-at-home mom now. We were in a very affluent neighborhood. We attended a local church and were very much engaged with activities with kids and looked like a very normal family.
But you weren't.
No, we were not normal at all. Growing up, my dad and I were very close. He really played a large role in my life. That really never stopped. I valued my dad's opinion on things, and that really made Rick uncomfortable. He didn't like that I was so close to my family, and particularly my dad.
Hey, Rick. Great to see you, Dad.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, honey.
He didn't like that my dad would give me a hug when we went down to see him, or put his arm around me for a posed picture.
You, taking good care of my baby, Rick?
Oh, I'm taking great care of your girl.
Good.
He thought that that was all very inappropriate and that that should stop immediately. He would start to talk to me when we were in private, saying that something was wrong with me. Why would you want your dad to hug you?
That was totally inappropriate.
What was?
The way he grabbed you.
You don't hug your daughter and you don't put your arm around your daughter. I remember responding to him that, well, we're a close family. We've always hugged, but he would get increasingly bothered by it. I remember starting to feel like maybe there's something wrong with me. Why would I think this is okay if he's saying it really is inappropriate? The relationship between Rick and my dad gradually worsened. And I think so often you don't see the red flags, you don't see the warning signs because you don't want to see them. He wanted sex whenever he demanded it, and I didn't have any say in that. He didn't want to come home to a soccer mom. He wanted to come home to a wife.
What do you think about this?
He wanted me to just be in bed having sex all the time, and what's wrong with me? I should be wanting to have sex all the time, too.
Why don't you try it on?
I just put this on.
And it was a real power struggle.
I don't want to put it on.
Susan, put it on.
That perhaps was one of those red flags that I should have seen. But growing up, I had always heard and been told by my mom that marriage is hard work and it requires compromise. And so I thought that what was going on in our relationship was very normal. This was marriage. The first time Rick suggested that I'd been sexually molested by my dad, I just thought that he was crazy.
Did he ever touch you?
What? He just went on and on that I was sexually repressed or prudish because I was molested by my father as a child.
He's molested you, hasn't he?
I remember reacting, no, I wasn't.
No, he did not.
That was not true. But I think it just really incensed Rick that I had such a close relationship with my dad. It was like a light bulb went off with him. I was the problem, not him. He was trying to really make his case to prove it to me so that I would have to accept it as true, whether I remembered it or not.
No.
He just became obsessed and was on a mission to convince me that I had been molested, and he was going to prove it to me. It started with going through old photos. Perfectly normal photos.
This photo. Look at this. Look at this right here.
Yeah, my dad's reading me a story.
Look at the way he's touching you.
I'm sitting in his lap, Rick.
My dad just has his arm around me, and he would say, look at the look on his face. He's looking at you in that knowing way.
Here.
It's a sleepover party.
I know. You think it's a sleepover party.
He focused on the fact that a picture was taken of girls sleeping.
This isn't right. Who takes pictures of girls like that?
We're just kids.
And he would just distort it to make his case and convince me that I had been molested.
You have to remember something. Think.
This is crazy.
These memory sessions could go for hours. We go all night. The sun would come up, and I was so tired. I said that I had no memories of anything like that.
I can't talk about this anymore.
If I'm not his partner, I'm partnering with my dad. And so he'd start to pull the weapons out. He had 3 guns, he had a sword, and he was in a crazed rage.
You don't have to do this.
He had 3 guns, he had a sword, and he picked up the sword and started just wielding it around and just crazy. He was just enraged. He would stand in the doorway, blocking my exit from the room. Don't you walk away from me when I'm talking to you, and just be very threatening and scary. So he was controlling me before he ever hit me. He was going to sue my dad because he was deprived of a wife with a healthy sex appetite. I remember the dollar amount was $1 million. Everything just started to close in. He was there constantly. Pretty soon, calls were no longer allowed, and no one in the house was to answer the phone ever. I had been isolated from my family. He's working full-time on building this case against my dad, building binders, organizing family photos, collecting paperwork, and getting books that he's highlighted. He was just immersed in this project.
Rick?
And it just got crazier and crazier as time progressed.
I'm gonna try this again.
He would take notes.
There he is touching you there. There he is taking photos of you sleeping. Well, let's do it together, why don't we?
And he would just go on and on, hours and hours, days on end.
How long do we have to do this before you see what's clearly there?
Just wanting to talk about details, and they were details I didn't have answers to.
I don't remember any of it. Told you.
I was never molested by my father as a child. I do remember the first time that he punched me in the stomach, because that was a punch. We were in the bathroom and I was trying to get out, but he was blocking the doorway. And it was a small bathroom and I couldn't get away from him, and he just punched me in the stomach. And I remember just feeling nauseous, and my wind was knocked out of me. I went back against the wall and then down to the floor.
What is wrong?
was just so struck by how shocked I was that he punched me. And after that, there were so many more because he punched me in the face, broke my nose, and dislocated my jaw, and boxed my ears, and punched me in the ribs, and knew that he'd broken ribs, and then he punched in the same places again. And he was just very targeted in his inflicting pain. And he said, "You think that hurts? Just wait till I hit it again. You think it's broken? Just wait." I tried to leave once.
No, I know. But
he called and told me he's on his way home. He'd be there in 20 minutes, and he was mad.
Right. But no, if you would just let me explain.
I was scared to death. I was afraid to be home when he got there.
Okay, let's go. Come on, kids. Let's put coats on. Where are we going? Come on. What's going on?
So I just quickly tried getting kids to the car so that we could just go somewhere and be gone, but Ryan wouldn't go.
Come on. Let's go. I know.
I can't.
I felt so controlled and trapped by fear. I didn't see any way out. The kids were very much in fear, and they were running as fast as they could. Dad's mad and he's on his way home. Let's hurry, let's go, let's get in the car.
All right, let's go. Come on, where are we going? Come on, kids, let's go in.
They were pleading with Ryan to come too so that we could go faster. They were scared to death.
Ryan, let's go. We need some food. Your father's coming home.
He knows Dad's scary, but he also knows that you have to appear to be on Dad's side. And he was afraid to look like he was taking Mom's side by leaving with me. And so I just quickly tried getting kids to the car so that we could just go somewhere and be gone. But Ryan wouldn't go. And so I did. He was my oldest. At the time, he was 16, and he didn't feel like it was safe to side with Mom, and Dad was on his way home. So I took the 3 kids and I left Brian there. And I didn't know what to do. I had to go back to the house. I was too afraid to stay gone. So I went home. And Rick had never even come home. So Ryan was there all alone. I didn't see any way out. I felt so controlled and trapped by fear. I didn't want to leave because my kids were still in the house. And I couldn't leave with the kids. I just felt trapped. I couldn't figure out a plan. His personality, his ego, would not stand for his wife leaving him. No one was going to leave Rick. And certainly no one was going to take his children.
There's a war going on. A war between good and evil.
He started saying, oh, she's got demons, she's been possessed.
So your grandfather, he's in charge of a satanic cult and has your mother under his spell.
I don't know where the satanic cult idea came from, but in addition to my dad having been a child molester, now he was this powerful guy in this satanic cult. He was referring to my dad as a high priest. And I had ambitions of being the high priestess.
And I'm gonna do whatever I can to break her of that spell.
He would drag me by my hair out and show me to the kids and say, see, this is what I'm beating out of your mother. He was beating the demons out of me.
Stop it!
The kids were silent. They were just staring and said nothing. He was really trying to turn the kids against me. The kids very much believed this cult story. Rick was scary and very persuasive, and he had all the power in the house.
I thought that because he said my mom was possessed by a demon, that maybe she could be. I was a little scared of her for that reason. I remember the first time that I ever prayed was after he was telling us that sort of stuff. I prayed, God, just, help Mom. Help, save her from that. Save her from what's going on inside of her. And I remember my sister was there watching me, and she said that Mom was crazy. Didn't need to pray for her.
You can't save Mom. You know that, right?
I believed it. I was brainwashed into believing everything my father said. That she was friends with demons, that she spoke with them, that her whole family was in this cult. He made me hate my mother. And in my mind, I didn't know anything different. He was telling me these things, and I believed them. Because I was a child, believing my father.
Because he was mounting this case against my dad, people were gonna come to the house and kill him. Some Jehovah's Witnesses women came to the door.
Hi, may I help you? No, we'd really love to introduce you to Jehovah's Kingdom. Oh, okay.
I just said no, thank you. We're good. We're not interested.
Thanks for coming by, though. All right? All right. Thank you. Take care now.
Soon as they left, Rick ran out with his gun.
Who was that?
He was certain that these women had been sent to the house by my dad.
Who was it?
I don't know.
He was going to run after them and kill them.
No, thank you.
Who was it?
Rick thought these Jehovah's Witness women that came to the door were part of my dad's cult. He ran outside and he was chasing him to kill him. And I heard a pop. He ran back in the house and fell down onto the floor. And he said, I shot myself in the leg. I shot myself. My gun went off.
I'm just standing there shocked, just trying to figure out what happened. My mom's holding my dad in her arms. My dad's freaking out. It was the Satanists outside. They shot me. They want to kill me. I was just at a loss for words when I heard that. But once again, Dad wouldn't lie to me. They're trying to kill your father. I believed fully what my dad was telling me was true.
He said we weren't safe. There were probably people positioned everywhere. He was tipping furniture over to have it be positioned for gun supports and barricading doors and windows. He was preparing the house for this attack from this cult. He locked me in the bedroom, and I was not to come out. He couldn't lock the door from the outside, but the lock was fear. He wore one of his guns in a holster throughout the house, and he kept the other pointed at me as we slept. He told the kids that they were no longer to talk to me or have any contact with me. He was going to get them a new mom and get rid of me. It just felt like a matter of time before he was going to kill me. My biggest fear was that he would kill me and then include the kids in disposing of me.
We were in the back of the car, me and my brother, and we had our paintball guns, and Dad would tell us to have them aimed at my mom. If she moves, shoot her with the paintballs. Mom is silent the whole time, and she's scared out of her mind. We pull over into this field, and my dad looks back at me and my brother, and he's just like, what do you think we should do, boys? You think we should shoot her? And he gets out of the car, he tells my mom to follow him. They go walking off into the field, and I remember just watching them as they slowly just go. He's hitting her. And I remember he was screaming at her, you know, you're not on my side. Why aren't you helping me? I'm waiting for a loud bang to go off. And I remember actually saying to myself, this is a nightmare. This isn't real.
I was certain at that point that I was going to be shot. I was looking around to see if there was some place to crawl to or somebody to scream out for help to. And he held the gun to my head Rick. And he said, "Are you ready to die?" And I remember the Lord's Prayer just going through my head, and I just stood there and I was waiting for him to shoot. And he, for whatever reason, decided that he still needed me around, so he dragged me back to the car. He decided to take me to the sheriff's department to confess that I was a part of the plan to have Rick killed. The story had evolved to where now I wasn't just a victim and had been molested by my dad. Now I was a molester. I had molested my own children. Once I confessed to conspiring to kill my husband and I've molested my children, surely they're going to arrest me. I wanted to be arrested because that was the only plan I could come up with to get out of this. It wasn't a great plan, but it was the only plan I had. I mean, I just wasn't going to last much longer. I needed it to end.
So, officer, what I was trying to say was...
When we got there, a couple of detectives took us into a room, and Rick started to explain what brought us there.
He's put out a statement that he wants me dead.
The detectives were listening to all of this, and then they said, "Okay, well, we need to have Susan formally make her statement and record it, and so we're going to ask you to step out in the hall, Rick." It was horrible. It was so horrible. And I couldn't say anything. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
She's involved in this organization. Go ahead, explain.
Susan, is that true, what he's saying?
Everything he says is true.
Rick, would you step outside, please, while I take her statement?
I knew Rick was sitting out in the hall, and I did not feel safe. I wanted to be arrested. I wanted to be believed that I molested my children and I need to be put in jail.
I've been abusing them for years.
So I tried really hard. I tried really hard to tell the story and have it be believable.
My family was in a Satan church, and I've been a Satan worshiper.
I was nervous and scared. I want to be believed because I want to stay. I don't want to be sent home with Rick.
He told me that I needed to take accountability for molesting my kids.
At the end, they said, "Okay, we don't feel this is a safe environment for the children. So while we've been talking to you, we sent CPS by the house to pick up the kids. And we're going to go ahead and let you go."
Please.
I said, I'm not under arrest. You're not going to put me in jail. They said, "We're going to do some further investigation and we'll be back in touch." And they sent us on our way. I was so fearful because now they're sending me home with Rick. And Rick was now mad because they had gone and taken the kids. I was scared to death.
Can we promise today that we're just going to talk about things that are the truth and things that really happened?
The cops were telling me that she was the good guy. Everything that he told me about all the cults, about beating us, about how that was normal, was a lie.
Have you ever seen your mom do anything like that to like your little sister or to any of your brothers before?
Everything was completely changed within the matter of a few hours for me. Growing up and thinking that my mother was a horrible human being, and then hearing that in reality it was my father that was the monster, was very rattling.
I remember just sitting there shocked.
She had done some pretty bad stuff to us.
Okay. Is that what he told you, or do you remember this?
That's what he told me.
And I'm just realizing, holy crap, this was all a sham.
But I want you to tell me what you know, not what your dad told you, not what papers you think your dad has.
I felt lied to. I felt just immense anger. And then there's just this shame. There's this feeling of embarrassment that I believed it all. I kept thinking, too, of my mom, just like, oh my God, and how we've treated her, or what she's gone through.
So once we got back to the house, Rick all of a sudden thought that, wow, this is great. And we've got the house to ourselves. Let's enjoy. And so he wanted me to go and put on some slutty dress and make drinks and let's party. I was having a really hard time being fun because I'm scared to death at this point. And that's when the sheriffs came to arrest him.
I can't tell you how many people are frightened to death of you right now.
Frightened to death of me?
Yes.
His reaction was, you're arresting me for spousal abuse? Are you kidding?
I didn't do this, but if you've got a theory, I'd love to hear it.
He continued to perpetuate the same crazy story.
I know it sounds crazy, but planned to have me whacked off here after she leaves with the kids to take them down to a satanic group and be part of this satanic church.
It's so delusional and so crazy.
I don't want this. I never asked for this. I'm trying to protect my kids.
I was so relieved when he was arrested. To me, he was evil.
I had to pull it together and get back on my feet because my kids were in foster care since that day that Rick took me to the sheriff's office to confess, and it was my sole focus to get my kids back with me. I was nervous because I didn't know what their mindset was. They'd been turned against me, but I was still their mom. The kids ran up and gave me hugs and said that they loved me and that they missed me and when could we live together again as a family, and that they were sorry that they thought that I was the bad guy. They know that Dad's the bad guy, and it was just very emotional.
This is a picture of my dad. He just passed away a little over a year ago. We talked about it once after, and I apologized over and over again. I felt it was very important
important to apologize and tell him that I loved him. And after that conversation, we really didn't talk about it again. He wanted to be able to just put it behind us. I was so happy to be alive. I didn't think I would ever get to that place. But so many people think that once you remove the abuser from the situation, now the family's good to go. The problems are over and life is good again. But it's very difficult to get back on your feet.
There's going to be stuff that always stays with me. My dad got up every day and made a choice, a conscious choice. I'm going to torture that woman today. I'm going to beat the crap out of that kid. I'm going to put this whole family in a state of fear. And it took a long time for us to repair the damage.
The fact that we survived is amazing. The fact that we survive each day after he has been gone is even more amazing. Because we choose to be stronger than what he has done to us. And we choose to not be victims, but be survivors and to keep moving forward and to have faith in people again. We can break the cycle and we can give our future generations something that we didn't have, a better life.
We, the jury, in the above entitled action,
find the defendant, Chester
Dwayne Turner, guilty of the crime of murder.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see no pictures. I don't want to see no photos. I don't want to see no video of him. Because we can stop. I'll stop right now. Don't do this to me. It's not something that's not normal to go around and talk about this. Nobody want to hear that. And I don't want to tell nobody. My life is over with him. Okay? He's part of my past. Okay? I like to keep it that way. You are the first and you will be the last that I'll ever have to do this with. Trust that. I'm never doing this again. If I said ever, ever, because it's too painful. It's hurtful. It's embarrassing. Every day I live with it. Every day I live with what he did to me, what he did to others. Every day. He had no right to do that. He's not God. He had no right to take their lives. I hate him. What he's done to me. I hate him. With all my heart. This is me when I was about in the 6th grade. A itty bitty girl with a bad hairdo. It's about around the time I first met Chester. Chester and I went to school together. He lived across the street from my parents. How I got to be friends with Chester is when his mom knew that we went to the same school and he needed some tutoring. Well, I was a bookworm. I love learning. And I said yes. More time that we spent together, more his grades picked up. Look at you. This is a nice picture. That's Chester and his little brother. He was a good kid. He was good with his little brother. This is the way I tutored. I knew that he liked me, but I didn't like him the way that he liked me. Lord have mercy. In high school, I got pregnant and I had my daughter. I lived with my mom and my dad. My dad was like, be my baby, it's okay. But me and my mother, we didn't get along, and she put me out. I didn't know where I was going to go. I had my daughter, and things didn't work out too great with me and her dad. So Jess was like, no, you're not going anywhere. Watch, Mom. I'm going to ask my mom, you can stay with us. Next thing you knew, I moved right across the street. This is the photo of myself when I moved in with Chester and his mom. Chester and his mom, they adored me. And I was somewhere where I was loved and happy at the same time. We were like a little family. I needed to start working, and Chester volunteered to be my babysitter. He would watch my daughter for me while I worked. He could comb her hair, put ponytails in, barrettes, and get her dressed and change her diaper and pop her on in the stroller, and she'd be just as happy. He really took a liking to my daughter and treated her just like his own. That's exactly what made me fall in love with him. I could always count on him. He had my back. I gave him a shot. We became boyfriend and girlfriend. He started getting crazy and possessive over me.
We'll talk about it later. Okay?
All right. Bye.
One day, a friend of mine, Reginald, picked me up from work and dropped me off. And me and Reginald were just friends. I went on to the house and I closed the door. And as I was getting ready to sit down on the couch, Chester made a statement to me like, oh, you seeing him?
Are you with me or are you with him?
What? No, come on, man.
No, don't lie to me.
And I told him no. And he was like, in a frantic rage of anger, and he balled up his fist. And he put his fist to the wall. And when I saw that for the first time, I said, oh my God. I've never seen him angry, and it scared the out of me. He was a big boy. Just to stick his whole fist through a wall, that scared me.
Reginald!
I called Reginald back. He was just getting into his car.
Yo, what do you need him for? What's up, Felicia?
He just punched a wall!
That's all right. What happened? Yo, what you do with my girl?
He said, look, I'm not trying to date her or take her away from you, but don't try to put your hands on her.
Hey, that's not cool.
You can't do that. You know, she's a lady. She has a baby.
You and him ain't right. There's nothing going on between us.
Reginald calmed Chester down.
Okay? We good? Yeah.
He said, you know, I love you and I would never hurt you and your daughter. And I told him, I need to know that because I couldn't be and live in the house with him if he did that. And he told me that he wouldn't do it anymore. He looked sincere. You know, he was crying.
Baby, I'm sorry.
He's 16, we're young, okay? And everybody gets jealous. Boys get jealous. He had feelings for me, okay? He loved me. And I forgave him. After I graduated from high school, I moved out of Chester's home and I got my own apartment to show my parents that I could be independent and be on my own. I loved it, my first place. He didn't move in with me, but the love that he had for me became an obsession. One day on my birthday, Chester told me that he'll be stopping by from work. It was late at night when he came.
Happy birthday, baby.
Oh, Chester!
He bought me about a good 15 balloons. I got flowers. I was on top of the world. I was like, ooh, I love surprises. But he wanted to stay over that night. And I told him, no, not tonight. I'm tired.
Chester, thank you so much, but I've got to sleep.
He totally got pissed off.
What is your problem?
I started to close the door and he put his foot in the doorway to block the door and he was like, "What do you mean no?"
I said no.
No, I got things to do. I go to work, I got my daughter. You can't just be so overbearing. Just let me do what I gotta do. And when I'm done, we'll get together.
We can do this tomorrow, right?
That just made him madder. I noticed the change of his expression in his face. And then he asked me to return his balloons and flowers.
Give me back my stuff then.
Really?
Yeah, really, now.
And I politely asked him to move his foot and let the balloons go. Threw the flowers out and I closed my door. He would try to call me to try to make up or to make amends. Just give me one more chance. Give me one more chance. I let it go for a while, but I gave him another chance. This is when I'm pregnant with Christopher. Everything was going great, and he was excited. I let him spend the night, and he'd come over to my place. And he would come over and bring different gifts for the baby. So I figured we're going to be fine now, and he has his own child. But one day, we went to my aunt's house for Christmas dinner, and it was Chester, my daughter, and I.
You have to work tomorrow?
And you could feel something's wrong.
What's up? You've been quiet all day.
He told me that he heard that I had slept with CJ. All the girls loved CJ. He was the finest dude on the block.
What's up with you and CJ?
CJ? Come on now.
And I told him, I said, don't believe everything you hear. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. So come on, let's just get on home.
People always talking trash. There's nothing going on.
And next thing I knew, he off and socked me dead in my jaw. And I looked at him, and he told me, shut up before I do it again, and I'll drive this car off the cliff.
Say something!
He wants to kill me.
Say something! I'll drive this car right off the road!
Yeah, socked me in my jaw. I was like, oh my God. And he said to me, he says, I'll take this car and I'll drive it right on off the cliff.
Go ahead! Say something.
And I didn't say a word. He looked so different. I could see the anger in his eyes.
I dare you.
My daughter was in the back seat and she was crying. I turned around and told her, like, baby, it's gonna be okay.
I'm okay.
I was scared. I started crying. Felt like he wanted to hit me again. We got home, and he got out of my car. He tried to talk to me. He tried to say, like, I'm sorry, can you talk to me?
Hold on! Felicia!
I didn't turn around. I kept on walking up them stairs. And my dad went down and talked to him. I could hear my dad talking to him outside.
Can you tell her? Hold up, son.
Jessa, and I like you, and I think you're a good man. And my daughter loves you, and you love her. But you need to keep your hands to yourself. I can't have you going around hitting on my daughter. And she about to have your baby. What kind of man you gonna be? What kind of father? What kind of parent you gonna make? And I can hear Jessa saying, I know you're right. He says, I'm not going to do it anymore. I didn't mean to. I waited until my dad came upstairs and he said, baby, I talked to him.
Felicia, it's gonna be okay.
Y'all gonna be all right.
Chester, he's a good man. He just gets heated.
The fact that my dad liked him was a good sign for me.
Really?
Yeah.
So I gave him another chance.
No worries.
I was pregnant with his child. I wanted us to work out. I wanted everything to go fine. He started spending a lot of time to himself, and he started watching a lot of porn. He spent a lot of time in the bathroom, and he was just in there watching it all by himself. And it started bothering me.
Chester, it's late. You coming to bed or what?
Just a minute.
I'd get up, and it's 3 o'clock in the morning, and he's still in the bathroom all by himself, watching these porn movies. I was like, man, you still in here? You still in my bathroom?
What's up?
What are you doing? It's late. Come to bed.
I will.
Well, I'll be out in a minute. Okay? All right, I go back to bed, get back up. He's still in there. I said, when you gonna get out of my bathroom?
Chester, it's late. You've been in there all night.
What do you want?
Wait, what are you doing? You can't be doing this stuff in my house all night.
His obsession with porn was just starting to be real creepy and very disturbing to me.
Look.
He said, well, I wouldn't watch it so much if you would have sex with me.
Don't put that on me.
Man, don't pressure me. I just had our son. We have to wait like 6 weeks.
The doctor said we need to wait. It's not like I don't want to.
Please.
I put my foot down, told him, you're not going to watch this at my house. And I thought that would be the end of it. He started staying out late. I knew the routine, and he wasn't on the routine anymore.
Hi, this is Felicia calling to see if Chester's still there.
Chester used to always come home around the same time every night. He'd get off from work between 12 to 12:30. Then things just started changing. Started coming home like 2 or 3 hours later.
Where have you been?
I had to work late.
2 hours? The shop isn't even open that late.
It's just like, man, what are you doing? Oh, I just got off from work.
There's nothing that serious. I just had to clean up. Nothing to worry about.
I felt that something was going on with him that he wasn't telling me about. So he was being secretive. He was hiding something. I didn't know. His personality changed. He just started changing right before my eyes. It was my first Mother's Day between me and him. We were going out to dinner. I was excited and I was waiting for him because he always did something special for me. 9 o'clock came. 10 o'clock came. Still no Chester. I kept calling him. He didn't answer his cell phone. By this time, it's past 1 o'clock in the morning. Okay. Still no Chester. I was disappointed. I was angry. All of a sudden, there was a knock at the door. And when he did show up, he had scratches on his face and hands. I could tell that something had happened to him.
What happened?
But I didn't believe his story at all.
What happened?
I could tell that something had happened to him. He had scratches on his face and hands. And I said, what happened to you?
I got into a car accident.
Accident.
I was driving with a buddy of mine, lost control.
He was racing, and he lost control of his wheel, and he went over in a ditch.
Really?
Yeah, totaled it up.
Totaled it?
Smashed it.
I said, where's the car? I didn't believe his story at all.
You look pretty good for someone who smashed a car.
Baby.
His knuckles was a little bruised, but he didn't look like he'd been in no car accident to me.
Don't worry. Ain't nothing's happening.
I didn't see the car ever again after that. But I suspected that he was cheating on me. You know, he's out seeing somebody else. You know, that time in the morning, where else he gonna be? I was very disappointed, and man, I let him suffer for a couple of weeks, you know, before I would talk to him. Eventually, he did win me over. He did something nice and made up for it, because that's what he did. We just went back to just our normal. It was a weekend, and I was waiting for Chester to come by. And it wasn't too late, but he was late. There was a knock at the door. I opened up the door.
Are you okay?
It hurts a little bit, but...
And he was standing there with this big old Band-Aid across his face. I noticed that he had a little blood on his jacket.
I'm okay. I got mugged.
And then he told me that some guys tried to jack him.
They took my wallet.
And he's like, yeah, they put a knife on me. I was like, man, you're always getting into something. He's like, I know. He came on in and sat down. I looked at his face.
Baby, you've got to be more careful.
I will.
They cut him across the face. Deep cut, too. He's got cut from here to here. He has stitches in his face. It never dawned on me to ask him, did he go to the police office or did the police come? None of that. Did he go in ambulance? You know, none of that dawned on me until later. I just thought that Chester was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because of us living in a rough neighborhood, I didn't think nothing of it.
Thank you.
He still has the scar. It's permanent. It's never going away. That right there was a eye-opener, something that I thought about later on. I was in the bathroom getting dressed. Put my makeup on and he was standing behind me and said, oh, you look cute.
Baby, you look so good right now.
Thank you, Chester.
I said, thank you. He said, let's have sex. And I said, no. Come on now, I've got to leave in a little bit.
I can't. I'm getting ready because I'm going out.
And he's like, come on now, let's, you know. I said, no.
Stop. Stop.
And he grabbed me. If I say no, no mean no. Okay? No didn't mean no to him. And before I knew it, he had already ripped my clothes off. My daughter was on the outside banging at the bathroom door crying. She was telling him stop. She was saying, Chester, stop. Leave my mommy alone. Mommy. No child should have to tell their mom's boyfriend to stop. He just did what he wanted to do. And when it was over with, he went on and he ran out the door. I didn't know what to do. You know, I mean, he had just raped me. I ran to the back to my bedroom and I grabbed my gun. And I ran out the door behind him. And I raised my hand up to shoot my gun, and then my neighbor across the street said, no, he's got the baby. He's got the baby in his hand. He went on out the front door. And I ran out the door behind him. And I raised my hand up to shoot my gun, and then my my neighbor across the street said, no, he's got the baby. He's got the baby in his hand.
Don't shoot! He had the baby! You give me back my baby!
And he turned around and yelled at me, I'm not going to bring you back the baby. I'm taking the baby and I ain't going to never bring him back. She had her cordless phone and I called the police. And when the police got there, they jumped out and they said, freeze.
Stop right there. Stop! Don't shoot! He's got my baby!
That's all I wanted. I wanted to get my baby back. And he says, I'm not going to give her back the baby. And they said, yeah, you're going to give her back the baby.
So you stop right there, give us a shout.
And they walked up to him slowly. Chester gave him the baby, and they gave the baby to me.
Come here. You have the right to remain silent.
Thank you. Thank you.
And they arrested him. I got my thoughts together, got dressed, and I went to my parents' house. I told my dad what he did. My dad told me, you don't want to press charges against him. You got the baby back, just let it be. And I didn't press charges because I got my baby back. You can best believe after that, I stopped messing with him. Okay? That was a wrap. But a few days after that, I went to my parents' house to talk with him and say, look, if you want to see your son, you can see him every 2 weeks. Okay? I didn't stop him from seeing his son.
If you want to be in your son's life, I'm not going to stop that.
Of course I do. And you know that.
After all that he did to me, I still tried to make his relationship with his son work. Because he's a good dad. You know, he was good with him.
But I also want to be in yours.
Nah, that's it.
There were no more me and you. I could tell the look on his face, he didn't care too much for that.
I don't want you at my house, and I don't want you in my bed.
Okay. No. Do you understand?
And he just looked at me and he told my dad, okay, all right. And my dad told him, I mean it. And he said, yes, sir.
I got it.
It was a weekday, and it was me and my oldest brother in my place. And all of a sudden, we heard some boom.
What was that?
Don't know.
So what the hell was that? We look outside, a big old brick stuck right in the front of my window sill of my car.
Oh, my God.
And we looked at each other. You know, ain't nobody do this but Chester. And the phone rang, and I answered it.
Hello?
And Chester said, I'm gonna kill you.
Chester, what's wrong with you?
Oh, you know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna solve that.
I hung up the phone. But for the rest of the night, my phone kept ringing off the hook. He kept calling.
Hello?
I'm gonna kill y'all. Y'all dead.
I'm gonna enjoy killing you.
Was I scared? Yes, I was scared. I was fearful for my life.
Don't answer it.
Called the police. And they said, well, ain't nobody cut, ain't nobody dead. They said, well, call us when something happened. Then I just started keeping my phone off the hook. After a month passed, things quiet down. My mother called and said, girl, Chester got him a girlfriend. I was like, thank God. When he introduced me to his new girlfriend, I figured right then he was over me. And I believed he was, because things were quiet. He could pick up the baby, drop the baby off. We're not arguing, no problems, nothing. So we coexisting. You know, I thought he was safe. one day I got in the car and I was on my way to run an errand. Me and the kids was in the car. I was coming up on the stoplight and I went to hit the brakes. They went straight to the floor.
No!
And the car just kept on going. And I went to hit the brakes again. And I said, oh my God. All I could do was pull the emergency brake up until the car stops. I was like, oh my God. I thought we would have been total. Just ran into all kind of cars. I had my brother to come, and when we looked up under the car, the brake fluid was leaking from the hose.
Yeah, let me look.
What?
Yeah, they're cut.
What's cut?
The brakes, they're cut.
And he said, your brake line's been cut. And I said, no, get out of here. He's like, yeah, they've been cut. Now, mind you, things had quieted down between me and Chester, okay? It never dawned on, never in my wildest dream that it would be him. And even though he told me he was going to kill me a few months ago and things calmed down, I just thought that he had got some sense. I jump out the car and I just say, oh my God, somebody is really trying to kill me. And when I told Chester about it, he was like, well, let me take a look at it.
It was crazy. I don't even know what happened. Like, just in a flash.
He said, well, somebody trying to kill you. I said, okay. I said, well, what'd I do?
You really got to protect yourself, Alicia.
He said, you should get an alarm put on your car. And he's right, I got an alarm put on the car because I didn't want that happening again. In the back of my mind, I wondered, and I still was puzzled to me, who would cut my brake lines? It was the furthest thing from my mind that he was the one cutting my brake lines on my car. I didn't leave the house unless I had my gun with me. If I didn't carry it in the glove compartment, it was small enough to fit in my back pocket. One day, I was going to pick up my son from my mom's house, and he was there, and he wanted to talk to me for a second.
Felicia, I need to talk to you.
He looked at me mad. He was angry, and I knew, uh-oh, here we go.
Yo, what is your problem?
Don't.
And all of a sudden, he drew back his fist. I thought I saw something in his hand. Maybe it was a pipe, or it was a knife. I got my gun. And I asked him to stop. Can you just stop? Can you just stay right where you are and stop?
He ain't gonna shoot me.
Try me.
And he went to step off the curb to come towards me. I was down to my last straw. I couldn't take it no more. And I closed my eyes and I pulled the trigger. I thought I saw something in his hand. And I closed my eyes and I pulled the trigger. I emptied the cartridge out. 6 bullets or 6 or 7. And when I opened up my eyes, he was laying on the ground. And I just panicked right then. Everybody was screaming. I was screaming. I thought I killed him. Thought he was dead. It wasn't a joyful thing. I was scared. Nobody wants to be able to explain that to their kids. I shot your father. You know, I didn't want to have to do that. I remember him going to the hospital. I remember the detectives telling me that it could go either way.
If he dies, it'll be considered murder.
When I found out that he was going to make it and everything was in his favor, I was glad. They said because his case file on you and him is this stacked up high, we're going to call it self-defense. I hadn't killed him. Part of me later on wished that I had. I felt that, he would stay away from me now, that it'd be time that he move on and I can go on and have my life. And that's what I did. I just moved on. But when he got out the hospital, it was the morning I was picking up my kids and I was driving home, and he was sitting on my front porch.
Hell no.
What is it?
Nothing. You don't say anything to him.
I was like, oh my God. And he said, I forgive you. He said, I forgive you. I love you. I'm sorry.
Just talk to me. I'm not mad.
He said it was my fault. It was my fault. I kept right on going.
How you doing?
I didn't even stop. Kept right on going.
Can I just spend 5 minutes with him, please? Felicia.
After that, we were done. I didn't care whether or not he saw his son or not. It was just, we were done. Maybe now he'll leave me alone. It was 2004. It was a rainy day.
Hey, Daddy. Hey, baby. Did you hear about Chester?
Hear what?
It's all over the news.
I was like, Daddy, what you talking about? What you mean? He said, you don't know? And he said, he killed those women.
Excuse me?
You went and got the paper?
It's at the top.
And it stated that he had been accused of rape and murder of a few women. I couldn't believe it. I stopped talking for the rest of the day and just stayed quiet. From what I read in the newspaper, they happened just when I had my son. Maybe that's what he was doing out late night. That night that he was cut up, could it have been that he was, with a female and she fought back and she cut him? Was that a time you think that maybe he did something? I don't even want to think that the times that he was with me, he was murdering people. I got phone calls from people saying, he's on TV. Girl, you see the news? No, I didn't see the news.
Investigators believe 37-year-old Chester Dwayne Turner is the man who murdered Triplett along with 11 other women, 2 of whom were reportedly pregnant.
I was in a state of shock, For the rest of my life, I'll be in a state of shock.
Detectives working the cold cases were able to link Turner to the victims through a DNA database. All the victims who were murdered in Los Angeles between 1987 and 1998 were sexually assaulted and strangled before their bodies were dumped.
And he should rot in hell. That's how I feel. He didn't cut them. He didn't stab any of them. He strangled them. It's a horrible feeling. It's horrible to gasp for some air because this man is choking the air out of you to take your life.
They are calling Turner the most prolific serial killer in Los Angeles history.
If I opened my eyes when I shot him, do I think that I should have killed him? Yeah, there's sometimes I think I should have killed him. Because if I'd have killed him, a lot of those women would be alive today. And that's all I want to say about that. Okay. I'm sorry that they lost their loved ones. It makes me sick to my stomach. One night I left out of my guy friend's apartment and walked down to the gas station. I was saying my ex-husband's a serial killer. You know, we call it common law marriage. The lady next to me, she says, excuse me. She says, are you talking about the gentleman that was on the news tonight? And I said, yeah. She said, well, you know, he killed my sister. Andrea Triplet. That was her. I said, oh my God. The way she looked me in my eyes, I mean, pure hatred. Pure hatred. And I was like, ma'am, no disrespect, but he tried to kill me too. You don't have to, I didn't have to be dead to be a victim. I was his first victim. That's all I kept saying, I'm a victim too. She started crying and we cried together and she said, I know you are. She said, I'm so sorry. Just that I miss my sister so much and I cried right along with her.
For the murder of Jane Doe, also known as Diane Johnson, in count 1, you shall be put to death.
Good.
For the murder of Annette Ernest in count 2, you shall be put to death.
Good.
For the murder of Anita Fishman in count 3, you shall be put to death.
Good.
For the murder of Regina Washington, count 4, you shall be put to death.
Good. He should be put to death. Good. I'm happy that they want to put him to death. Because that's where he should be. This right here, this is going to be the last time I see him right here. Do I have to hold this? Thank you. I don't want to see. I don't want to look at him. I don't want to look at him. He's part of my past. We don't talk about him. We don't have pictures of him in our household. I burned him. Put lighter fluid on him and I burned him. I'm like just trying to erase him from my soul. I should have never messed with him. I should have never tutored him. I should have never just been his friend. I never thought in my wildest dreams that this little homie square boy would just be a murderer. I would never think, looking at this picture, that he would be a serial killer. No one did. None of us did. The puzzling part, was he that way the whole time when we were growing up? How do you know? Well, I never saw it. And that's scary.